usually when I do the eyes, I don't pick a straight out white. Since she's mostly brown, I'm going to do a yellow. Sometimes I'll do a blue. But if you do a straight out white, it can look really washed out and not realistic. Okay, and we're done. Now the reason we put this on a separate layer is that we can do this. See? There, not there. There, not there. And I can do this, and it helps so that I can make another layer for shading. We create another clipping mask. I'm going to call it S1 for shading 1. This is the first layer of shading, and I'm going to set the layer to multiply. See, it was on normal. And I just clicked down here and went down to multiply. And usually when I'm shading, I'll either start off with the base color or just a random kind of more gray color. Now when I'm shading, I don't necessarily think of a sun. That whole let's make a sun in the corner of our picture and try to figure out where the light hits doesn't really make a lot of sense with me. Yes, it's good for starting out, but every other tutorial says that. What I do is more or less either A, look at reference pictures, B, look at how other people shade it, or C, think of it as shapes. That's probably your best bet. But as you can notice, there are certain areas that, like on a face of an animal, always get shaded. You always shade and come up to the eye because there's a little indent there. And basically when you put shading somewhere, that's saying there's an indent, or it gives the visual impression that there's an indent there. So you're always going to come up and go straight to the eye and do an indent if the light's coming this way. If the light's coming this way, then you're not going to do that. But most tags have the light coming this way for that reason. And like this is a cylinder kind of shape, so I'm just going to go and make one side of that brown, darker brown. And like this now it's a cylinder too, so it's kind of circly shaded. And now I'm just going to go in and kind of shade the mane a bit so you get the impression of hair. And I'm going to shade the nose. I'm not going to shade the eyes, that's going to be a separate layer. So now another thing to think about when you're shading is the anatomy of the animal, because shading also helps add anatomy. So for example, this is a neck, but I might come in here with other animals and do some shading lines there, because there's usually a muscle ripple there, where once again it's an indent. And whenever there's an indent, we shade. You have to kind of think of it like a 3D model. Like if you were to make it out of clay, where would the light hit? With circles, you're going to have a circle. With cylinders, you should just know how to shade basic shapes and then think about them when you're doing it. Like this is a cylinder with the light source coming here. Now normally with that sort of thing, you just kind of do some shading maybe this way, but you can notice I'm doing shading up here too because you have to pay attention to the shadows. The shadows of the head is making this area dark too. And like, here we are with the arms, or legs, and that's going to be a silhouette too, so we're just going to kind of shade one side. See how it's kind of circular? It moves sort of with the shape. And these are just little circles, so we're going to shade like little circles. that was not closed off. And no, it wasn't. That's definitely not closed off, but that's okay. Now, because this is a separate layer, I can just go in and erase. It's very important that you don't pick any other colors while you're doing this, because the real layer is this color. The real color I'm coloring with is this color, not the color you see here, because it's on multiply. So it's very important you don't get rid of your color if you're going to erase. And here we're going to talk about the anatomy again. There's usually a muscle right there. You know, the strong arm muscles. So we're going to show that. And then this area would be shaded because it's being overshadowed by the shoulder.